Hello, I'm Mark Peikert, editor-in-chief of The Gay Goods, and you are tuned into this week's episode of The Gay Goodies with special guest Jaxton Wheeler. I've known Jaxton for a couple of years now. He's one of the first people that I spoke to when I was launching The Gay Goods about contributing. He wrote a great op-ed about spending the summer attending Black Lives Matter protests, and we're going to get into his porn career that has seen the highs of right in front of my salad to the lows of kind of being blackballed from studio porn. So let's get into it. Hello, Jaxton.
Hey, everybody.
What what was your first experience with porn? Like, what prompted you to get into the industry?
Oh, that's horrible. Um, Trying to get the shadow out of my eyes. Um, you know, I think for me it was just a bunch of things I planned for didn't pan out, and instead of I don't know becoming depressed or kind of giving up on going after something, I figured possibly the adult entertainment industry could offer me a better career than working for someone else 9 to 5.
That's kind of your entire career, period, right? Like, I feel like you are someone who is constantly pivoting to the next big thing.
Yeah, I mean, I like to say I'm always thinking ahead, and I've been on the cusp of pretty much everything new that's been happening within the industry since I began. I do have a very business-like mind, and I do have a very you have to keep adapting type mind to the current economy and just modern society. So there are certain things when I got into the industry as it was changing with all the old males that owned everything that didn't have a lick of clue about technology. That was very apparent, and that's why they were just getting drowned as the free to view sites came out. So yeah, I'm always it's like you have to be open to change. And the moment you're not and you think you're too complacent is when the rest of the world will pass you by.
And you were doing a lot of gay porn, but you were also doing some bi porn too, right?
Yeah, I still have the actual offers to do that stuff as well. I'm never in LA anymore.
So your whole personality in porn is the disciplinarian daddy with a twinkle in his eye. Is that a fair summary of?
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, because I'm not always like rough with everybody. I have my moments where I'm just cheery and happy and uplifting and stuff, but the world just keeps giving me reasons just to go back to being a dick. At least when I'm a dick, I'm not expending any effort towards fake people. I'm just getting what I want.
And you're really good at it.
It's like I'm a dick with morals. Like I don't take
But
it
I,
from people, but
I mean, your fan base is comprised of so many men who really, really get off on that, and certainly the beard has only accentuated that since you started growing it, which is almost a year now.
it's been a year and 3 months. So it's been 15 months
Wow.
of growth.
Are you? Does it continue to get longer? Are you
Oh
trimming
yeah,
it? What is
oh yeah,
the?
it's growing. I'm just letting it grow. Like
What
now,
is the? What is
now
the end goal
I don't know, 2 to 3 years.
of just as
Like
far down as it will go?
exactly, I figured like at the end of 3 years, I can like have someone just like trim it up perfectly and make it look like a big sagging pair of black balls. I always get a laugh from that.
And that will guarantee you some tips on OnlyFans and
Oh
on
yeah,
Chatterbait.
yep. You just you want me to touch my black balls, big black balls?
So, what has the pandemic been like for you as someone who has kind of already pivoted to the online platforms?
Uh, well, I mean, fortunately, I live in Florida, and I actually got out of the country and I was traveling a shit ton right before the week before quarantine. So it's not like all of 2020 was terrible. At least I got to enjoy the last bits of normalcy. The world stopped. Like I was in Berlin, I was in Madrid, I went to Mardi Gras, I was in LA, I was in Houston, I was in New York, I was in Boston. Like I was trailblazing. Like I'd set myself up the year before to go even harder last year. But then, I got back to Florida in March. And then in April, we went into quarantine and everything shut down for a month. And then that was really fucking depressing. Like, I don't know how the rest of y'all do it. Like, I would be leaving my state if they did that. Like, I'm sorry, it doesn't work. Not in this country. This country, it doesn't work. People can't do it because the government doesn't help. Only countries where it works is where people can stay in because they don't need to go to work because the government suspended their rent and gave them fucking free money. Yeah. So I don't want to hear it from anybody in this country about the fucking mask. Like, yeah, wear your fucking mask, but these lockdowns, they don't work. The only people that need to lock down are the old and the very vulnerable. They can stay indoors. The rest of us need to fucking work. This is America. This isn't the UK. This isn't Europe. Like, we don't take care of each other. So we got to work. Like, people are going to be fucking homeless here soon. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, no, I don't support lockdowns and all that bullshit. And once Florida opened back up last year, like I said, I started doing the protests. I went from Tampa to Atlanta to DC, and I got out. And I caught COVID in March of last year, and I lost my sense of smell for like 4.5, 5 weeks. And I maybe had like a small blood clot in my thigh that I worked out from. But it was from also like, if I had COVID, I was also sitting the whole fucking month of April. That didn't help. So like, I just wasn't moving. I was fucking depressed. I was just online and playing video games and just trying to figure out like what the fuck is going to happen now.
Did you see more people joining your OnlyFans and engaging with you online when lockdown started?
It certainly made it much easier to steer people towards everything online because everybody's discouraged from meeting in person. So everybody gets starved from attention and starved of butt, and you're horny and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, it was the best time ever to start an OnlyFans or get into OnlyFans if you're not anybody. Unfortunately for me, I'm banned on Twitter. So I don't have the reach like I used to by myself when I had like 90,000 people on there like 3 years ago. And then my Instagram keeps getting deleted. Like it got deleted at 90,000, and then it got deleted at 15,000. I'm back up to 7,000. But because I am a porn star, who knows when it's going to get deleted again. So it's just, like there's some things in this country that are really back ass words. Like if I was in Europe, you wouldn't be able to hold the fact that I do sex work against me for employment. You would go to jail. Like you can't go after my livelihood because of what I do.
Yeah.
But in America, it's just high school. That's all this is. It's just high school. That's all the United States is fucking high school. We refuse to get out of it. We're like the youngest country in the fucking world too. This whole country is just one big rebellious teenager it's fucking stupid. I mean, if you look at us, we don't rank in the top 10 for fucking anything worldwide. We are stupid. As a country, we have a much lower intelligence than most other countries. And so that's what our country's littered with. Not filled with, we're littered with idiots.
I really wish that you could learn how to form an opinion, Jaxton.
Oh, no. I thought about that. I mean it. Did I say everybody's an idiot? No.
I'm saying.
If I say that, if you're watching this and I say that and you take offense, you might think you're an idiot. I just said it's littered with them. I mean, if you're not a Trump supporter, you could probably say, hell yeah, half the country's full of idiots.
So there must be so many options, but what got you banned from Twitter?
I called Kylie Jenner a cunt.
That's all it takes?
I also maybe said, she's the reason why people commit suicide.
When did that happen? When did you get banned?
Like 3 years ago now.
And without Twitter, you can't join Just for Fans, right?
I don't know. I still log in with my suspended Twitter account because it's still there. I just can't do anything with it but look at shit. So I can still log in with it.
Yeah.
It works for now.
When the Twitter ban happened, did it make you pause on being a smartass on social media? Did you rethink it, or were you just doubling
Why?
down?
Why? I'm a public figure. At this point in my life, I am a public figure. So it's just one public figure to another just talking shit. If I was a verified account or if I was mainstream, they wouldn't have banned me. But right now there's a huge conservative movement happening across the fucking world. And sex workers are being attacked. So, only matter of time before I gave them a reason. No difference than what happened with me and the homophobia that plagues the porn industry. I gave them an excuse to kick out one of the most fastest rising bisexual men in the industry that was probably going to push into the straight side too. They don't like that. They don't like that. They've effectively banned every single bi and gay dude from fucking with straight porn since for fucking so long now. And that's like their little crutch. It's like, anybody old with influence as they get older, they just cling to whatever they can for power. And that's one of the powers the straight industry has over the whole industry. A female can go touch a trans model or another woman. They don't, she doesn't get blacklisted from anywhere. They still call it straight porn.
But there are performers like Pierce Paris and Ricky Larkin and Dante Cole who are performing in both gay and straight porn.
What studios are hiring them for straight porn?
Well, I don't know the straight studios, but Dante Cole just picked up the X-Biz Performer of the Year.
If they're doing straight stuff, it's probably on their own, or they were probably paid before by a fan.
I don't know, because Dante Cole just picked up X-Biz Performer of the Year for gay and straight, just across both categories.
Sexual porn is considered straight porn. You do know that. It's in the straight category.
No, he over in both categories.
I do know all of us were doing bi porn. Bi porn is considered straight porn. They are not doing solely straight porn.
Yes. Sorry, I missed.
The only time they're doing a female, there's also another male involved, and they're interacting with that male. It is bi porn, but it is in the straight category for things like XBiz. So yes, then someone like Dante Cole could fully become the gay and straight performer of the year because, like I said, they are hiring us for bi work. They will not let us work alone with Brazzers or any of those. They're not hiring crossover models to deal with their females.
Yeah. And I mean, there is such a huge strain of homophobia in the straight side when it comes to performers who work in gay. People do not. So many people do not want to work with any performer who does gay scenes.
It's not as many as you think. It's the studios and agents. Females really don't care. The females only care when the agents and studios fearmonger them. The first they'll tell them, don't work with crossover models. They'll ruin your career. You also don't know what they'll have. They just overwhelm them with fears about working. And the biggest thing that they hear though is don't work with them because they'll ruin your career. So they think I can't work with you because then I don't get paid anymore. I can't be seen with you because then you know what I mean? Everybody at the end of the day, the reason why they do things is to protect this. You want to know people's real hidden agendas nowadays? It's all to protect this or get more of this in this country. And it got worse with COVID.
So what happened? You had a big mainstream. I mean, you went mainstream with the Right in Front of My Salad scene. Mm-hmm. And which everyone was talking about. Everybody knew about that scene. And then a couple of months later, you kind of dropped off the face of the earth.
Well, no, we
did. In terms of the porn.
We did a follow-up one. And that went well, too. And everything was going well. And up until, the incident. So, and then that just put a halt on pretty much everything. I still filmed with a few studios after, a couple gay studios. I've been invited back at times to do work for Biphoria and Devil's Films. So the entire industry doesn't have their head up their ass. But studios like Trans Angels, But those bitches can kiss my fucking ass, or those assholes. I don't know who runs the studio, but it just, I don't care. There's too many people for me to give a shit about a few people that don't like me.
And the incident being August Ames' suicide after tweeting about not wanting to perform with actors who did gay scenes.
Right. She got the biggest backlash and tongue lashing from her own female colleagues. But I talked to her brother about a month ago, and
really?
He doesn't even blame me at all for that. He doesn't even think cyberbullying played that big of a role in what happened.
Really?
That's her own brother. He just like the book that came out by Ron Johnson. It's called The Last Days of August. And he details how fucked up her husband was, and how the fact that he already had another wife commit suicide, and another wife is in a mental institution. Maybe he has a bad track record of taking young girls, forcing them into the sex industry, and fucking with their heads. That's what it really seems like.
I mean, yeah, you got dragged hard on Twitter.
Oh yeah, of course I did. I knew it was going to happen. But the minute they doxed my family and posted pictures of where my kids were sleeping, I didn't give two shits who was hurt by a little tweet that I said. Like, you're fucking with fire right now. And so yeah, I put my foot down, and I said, hey, if I'm the one they got to come after, I don't think the rest of you are strong enough to take it. So let them bring it. I will survive. I know I did nothing wrong. And when this all comes around, there's going to be a lot of people that look for my forgiveness or want a handout, and I'm going to remember what happened. We literally have like so many people that are just so poorly uneducated that they don't offer value to society anymore. Like, unfortunately, we had a whole couple decades worth of education and schooling based on an industrial revolution that was already over, with no change to the career paths or trajectories for anybody. So they have no valuable skills in modern society. Like 50% of jobs are going to be automated in the next 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
What are people going to do?
Yeah.
Might as well start working your back out, because you're going to be picking corn in the fields.
So what do you have? What are your future plans?
I'm diving so heavy into crypto because it's a financial revolution. Just like anything, any revolution that happens, when the .com market first hit, buying URLs or getting online, or the housing market explodes, getting involved in that, like, crypto is the next frontier. The people that really, really take it seriously and get involved and invest their time and money in, it will pay off tremendously going into the next 10 to 15 years. Also, too, if you don't take the time to learn it, and when it comes time that you have to know about it, you're going to be at the mercy of other people paying their fees to help you and things like that. So it's like, take yourself to school. Half of you are in fucking lockdown anyways, so you've got nothing else to do.
And you offer courses on crypto, don't you?
I do consulting and things. I had a website at one point. I'm not sure if it's up anymore. I may have put it back up. It's called 401 Now instead of 401k. So, I do advise people to take everything out of their 401ks or IRAs or CDs right now and just put it all in the crypto market. Because you won't see hardly any of that money till you're about to die, and it's not going to be that much money. If you have $10,000 plus to spare, you can turn that into easily $1 million in the next 2 to 3 years.
That's a big swing. Are people taking you up on that?
No, actually, a lot of my friends have been talking to me and getting my advice where they want to know where to put their money right now, so we can grow. Like I explained to somebody, the whole point of this, it's just like stocks, like the more shares you own of something, as it rises in value, you get more value. So like with crypto right now, the cool thing about it is anybody can access and trade it. You don't have to worry about your government regulations. I mean, some countries have them, but there's ways to work around it. The wonderful thing about the whole crypto thing is it evolves around a decentralized internet, meaning everybody in the world can access it if they know how to. The problem is how many people know how to. Certain countries have really pro crypto laws, so it's not a big deal Like if you live in Switzerland or Japan or like Bolivia, some places like that in Germany where they're kind of pro crypto, you don't have to worry about like government censorship trying to access the sites or anything like that, the exchanges. But there's ways around it. But like I tell people, like, there's currencies out there right now that are worth like 4,000th of a penny. And about $450 would buy you 1 million shares. In 2 to 3 years, the way the market's rising anyways, everything else in the market's going to go up anyways. If and when it reaches $1, you have $1 million.
Yeah.
That's how investing works. The problem with this country is, though, is most people in this country can't think 2 weeks ahead. Payday, every 2 weeks, pay your bills, scraping by, budgeting for 2 weeks. That's how that's the mode this country's in. So that's why the rich people get so much richer easier. They have extra cash they literally throw away in investments and they don't think about it. They're like, forget about it. 2 to 3 years happens. Oh, that fucking exploded. Oh, let's buy a new house. Meanwhile, all these cocksucks in America are like, oh, my GameStop. Oh, I got all this money. Let's spend it now because greed. No, throw it back in. You didn't have that money before anyways. Take most of it and throw it back in. That's my life. That's my career. If you don't like it, guess what? There's plenty of other free fucks. And I don't have one fuck to give.
And that is paid for.
Mm-hmm, exactly. If I had one fuck, that fuck would be worth a lot.
All right. This has been exactly as interesting as I knew it would be when I asked you to do this. That is all the time that we have. Thank you so much. This was...
Absolutely.
All right, guys, follow Jaxton on OnlyFans. The address is right there. And then tune in next Monday for the next episode of The Gay Goodies.